What if a child's body aged 8 times faster than normal? What if an 8-year-old looked like they were 64? This isn't science fiction. This is the reality for children with progeria. But today, I'm going to tell you an incredible story of hope, love, and a medical breakthrough that's changing everything. Hello, Outliers family. Welcome back to our channel where we explore the extraordinary stories that remind us how precious and miraculous life really is. Today we're diving into a condition that affects fewer than 400 children worldwide, but has taught us incredible lessons about genetics, family strength, and the power of never giving up. Before we begin, I want you to know that this story contains some medical information, but I'll explain everything in simple terms that everyone can understand. And while we're talking about a serious condition, this is ultimately a story of hope, breakthrough science, and the amazing strength of the human spirit. Meet Alex, a 7-year-old with sparkling brown eyes and the biggest smile you've ever seen. Alex loves 3 things more than anything else in the whole world: building with colorful Lego blocks, reading adventure books about brave knights and magical dragons, and making people laugh with silly jokes. Every morning, Alex would wake up in a cozy bedroom filled with Lego creations. A tall castle on the desk, a bright red fire truck on the shelf, and always something new being built on the carpet. Alex's favorite thing was to create stories about these Lego people, giving each one a name and an exciting adventure to go on. Alex lived with Mom, Dad, and a fluffy golden dog named Buddy in a warm house with a big backyard. Mom worked as a teacher, always patient and kind, with gentle hands that gave the best hugs. Dad was a mechanic who could fix anything that was broken, and he loved building Lego sets with Alex every weekend. They were a happy family who laughed together, played together, and took care of each other. But when Alex turned 5, Mom and Dad started noticing some things that seemed different. At first, it was small things that didn't worry them too much. Alex seemed smaller than other kids the same age, like a little bird among bigger birds. While other 5-year-olds were growing taller and stronger, Alex stayed tiny and delicate. Mom noticed that Alex's hair felt thinner than before, and sometimes it would fall out in small amounts when she brushed it. Dad saw that Alex got tired more easily when they played catch in the backyard, needing to rest after just a few minutes of running around. The most puzzling thing was Alex's skin. It started to look different, thinner and more fragile, almost like tissue paper. Sometimes, little blue veins would show through, like tiny rivers you could see from above. Alex's joints, the places where bones connect like elbows and knees, began to look bigger and more noticeable. At first, Mom and Dad thought maybe Alex just needed better food or more vitamins. They tried everything they could think of. They made sure Alex ate lots of healthy vegetables, drank plenty of milk, and got enough sleep every night. But the changes continued. Other people started noticing too. At the grocery store, strangers would look at Alex with curious expressions. Teachers at preschool mentioned that Alex looked different from other children. Some kids at the playground would stare or ask questions that made Alex feel confused and sad. But here's the amazing thing about Alex. Through all of these changes, that bright personality never dimmed. Alex still built incredible Lego cities, still read adventure books with excitement, and still told jokes that made everyone giggle. Alex had a special gift for making friends and helping others feel happy, even when feeling worried inside. Mom and Dad knew they needed answers. They loved Alex more than all the stars in the sky, and they wanted to understand what was happening so they could help. Late at night, after Alex went to sleep, They would talk quietly in the kitchen, holding hands and making plans. "We'll figure this out," Dad would say, squeezing Mom's hand. "Alex is still our wonderful, amazing child, no matter what." Mom would nod, wiping away a tear. "We'll find the best doctors. We'll learn everything we can. Alex deserves answers, and Alex deserves all the help we can give." They didn't know it yet, but they were about to begin a journey that would change their lives forever. A journey that would teach them about a very rare condition, introduce them to incredible doctors and researchers, and show them just how strong their love for Alex really was. Alex, meanwhile, continued being 7 years old, playing, learning, dreaming, and filling every day with laughter and imagination, just like any other child with a heart full of wonder and hope. The first doctor visit felt like any other checkup. Alex sat on the crinkly paper covering the examination table, swinging little legs back and forth, while Mom and Dad talked to Dr. Martinez, their family doctor for many years. Dr. Martinez had known Alex since Alex was a tiny baby, so when she saw the changes, her eyebrows wrinkled with concern. She measured Alex's height and weight, listened to Alex's heart with her cold stethoscope, and looked carefully at Alex's skin and hair. "I think we should see some specialists," Dr. Martinez said gently to Mom and Dad, "just to make sure we understand what's happening with Alex's growth." Alex didn't understand all the grown-up words, but could tell from Mom and Dad's faces that they were worried. "Am I sick?" Alex asked, tilting head to one side like Buddy the dog did when he was curious. "We're just going to visit some very smart doctors who know lots about helping kids grow strong and healthy," Mom explained, giving Alex a warm hug that smelled like her favorite vanilla perfume. The next few months became a parade of doctor visits. Alex met pediatricians, geneticists, and cardiologists, doctors with very long names who specialized in different parts of the body. Each doctor was kind and gentle, but they all had the same puzzled expression when they examined Alex. Alex began to think of these visits like going on detective adventures, just like in the mystery books at home. Each doctor was like a detective looking for clues about why Alex's body was different from other kids. During one visit, a genetic counselor, a special detective who studies DNA, which is like the instruction book inside our bodies, took a small sample of Alex's blood. "This will help us read your body's instruction book," she explained with a smile. "Everyone has a different instruction book, and we want to understand yours better." 3 weeks later, on a Tuesday morning when the autumn leaves were turning golden outside, Mom and Dad got a phone call that changed everything. That evening, after Alex finished building a new Lego spaceship, Mom and Dad sat down on either side of Alex on the big, comfortable couch. "Remember how we've been visiting all those doctors to learn about your body?" Dad began, his voice gentle but serious. Alex nodded, putting down the Lego astronaut that was about to explore a new planet. "Well, we found out that you have something called Progeria," Mom said, taking Alex's small hand in her warm one. "It's a very rare condition. That means not very many people have it. Only about 400 kids in the whole world have progeria." "Is that why I'm smaller than other kids?" Alex asked, always quick to understand things. "Yes, sweetie," Dad nodded. "Progeria makes your body age faster than other people's bodies. It's like your body's clock runs faster than everyone else's clock." Alex thought about this for a moment, imagining a clock ticking super fast like in a cartoon. "So, I'm like a time traveler?" Mom and Dad looked at each other with surprise and admiration. Even facing something scary, Alex found a way to make it sound like an adventure. "In a way, yes," Mom said, tears gathering in her eyes but her voice strong. "You're very special, Alex. and there are doctors and scientists all over the world working very hard to help kids with progeria. Are there other kids like me? Alex wondered. Yes, there are, Dad explained, and they're all brave and amazing, just like you. Some of them have become friends with each other, even though they live far apart. Alex was quiet for a few minutes, processing this big news. Then, with typical curiosity, asked, "Can I still build Lego sets?" Mom and Dad laughed through their tears. Of course you can. You can still do all the things you love. You're still you, Alex. You're still our wonderful, creative, funny child. That night, after Alex went to sleep, Mom and Dad stayed up very late reading everything they could find about progeria. They learned about the Progeria Research Foundation, an organization started by families just like theirs. They read about clinical trials, special research studies testing new medicines to help kids with progeria live longer, healthier lives. "We're going to fight this," Dad whispered to Mom as they finally turned off their computer. "We're going to learn everything we can, connect with other families, and make sure Alex has the best possible life." Mom nodded, wiping away tears of both sadness and determination. "Alex is going to change the world. I can feel it. They were right." From that day forward, Alex's journey became not just about living with progeria, but about showing everyone, doctors, researchers, other families, and the whole community, what courage, joy, and hope look like. Alex might have a body that aged faster than other kids, but Alex's spirit was timeless, bright, and absolutely unstoppable. The real adventure was just beginning. Every morning started the same way for Alex, with excitement about what the new day might bring. Mom would gently wake Alex up at 7 a.m., and the first thing Alex always did was check on the Lego city that was growing bigger every day on the bedroom floor. "Good morning, Lego people," Alex would whisper to the tiny plastic figures. "What adventure are we going on today?" Getting ready for school took a little longer than it did for other kids. Alex needed special, gentle shampoo for thin hair, and Mom had learned to brush very carefully so it wouldn't fall out. Alex's clothes were often a size or two smaller than what other 7-year-olds wore, but Alex didn't mind. "I'm perfectly sized for hugging," Alex would say with a grin. At Roosevelt Elementary School, Alex's second-grade classroom was on the first floor, so there weren't any stairs to climb. Mrs. Peterson, Alex's teacher, had arranged the desks, so Alex's was right near her desk, making it easy to ask questions or get help when needed. Alex's best friend was a girl named Maya, who sat in the desk right next to Alex's. Maya had curly red hair and freckles across her nose, and she loved building things just as much as Alex did. During recess, while other kids played tag or climbed on the jungle gym, Alex and Maya would sit at the picnic table creating stories about invisible kingdoms and magical creatures. "I wish I could run fast like the other kids," Alex told Maya one day, watching classmates race around the playground. Maya looked at Alex seriously and said, "But you can build the most amazing things with your imagination. That's way cooler than running fast. Running just gets you sweaty." This made Alex laugh so hard that chocolate milk almost came out through Alex's nose. Not every day was easy, though. Sometimes kids from other classes would stare at Alex in the hallway. A few times, some older students asked questions that made Alex feel uncomfortable. "Why do you look so different?" a fourth grader named Tommy asked one day in the cafeteria, not being mean but just curious in the way kids can be. Alex had practiced answering this question with Mom and Dad. "I have something called progeria," Alex explained calmly. "It makes my body age faster than other people's bodies. It's very rare. That means special. I'm like a limited edition. Tommy's eyes got wide. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. Are you like a superhero? From that day on, Tommy would wave to Alex in the hallways and sometimes ask how the latest Lego creation was coming along. Twice a week, Alex had to leave school early for doctor appointments. These visits weren't always fun. There were blood tests that pinched, heart checkups that required staying very still, and sometimes medicines that tasted terrible even when mixed with chocolate syrup. Dr. Williams, Alex's cardiologist, was especially good at making these visits feel less scary. He would let Alex listen to his own heartbeat through the stethoscope and always asked to hear about the newest Lego builds. Your heart is working very hard, just like you do when you're building something complicated, Dr. Williams would explain. We're giving it some special help with medicine to keep it strong. The best part of Alex's week was always Friday afternoon, when Dad would pick Alex up from school and they'd go to Tony's ice cream shop. Alex always ordered the same thing, vanilla ice cream with rainbow sprinkles, while Dad got mint chocolate chip. One Friday, something magical happened. When they walked into Tony's, there was a big banner hanging across the shop that read, "Welcome Alex, our favorite customer." Tony, the owner, had organized a surprise party with balloons, streamers, and free ice cream for everyone. "We wanted to show you how much joy you bring to our shop," Tony said, handing Alex a special ice cream sundae with extra whipped cream. "Every time you come in here with your big smile and funny jokes, you make everyone's day brighter." Alex's eyes filled with happy tears. The whole ice cream shop was full of people from the neighborhood, Mrs. Chen from the library, Mr. Rodriguez from the grocery store, and even some classmates with their families. At home, family dinners were always special times. Dad would tell jokes from his day at the mechanic shop. Mom would share funny stories from her classroom, and Alex would give detailed reports about Lego construction projects and school adventures. Some evenings were harder than others. When Alex felt very tired or when joints ached, the family would have quiet movie nights on the couch. Buddy the golden retriever seemed to know exactly when Alex needed extra cuddles, always curling up right next to Alex during these peaceful times. "You know what I love most about our family?" Alex said one evening during a particularly cozy movie night. "What's that, sweetheart?" Mom asked, stroking Alex's thin hair gently. "We're like a team of superheroes. Dad fixes things, Mom teaches people, I build amazing worlds, and Buddy gives the best hugs. We all have different superpowers, but together we're unstoppable." Dad squeezed Alex's hand. "That's exactly right. We're Team Alex, and we can handle anything together." Even though some days brought challenges that other families didn't have to face, Alex's days were filled with friendship, learning, creativity, and love. Every morning still started with excitement about what adventures the day might bring, because Alex had learned that the best adventures aren't always about what your body can do. Sometimes they're about what your heart and imagination can create. Word about Alex's amazing spirit began to spread through the neighborhood like ripples in a pond. It started small, with just a few people, but soon grew into something beautiful and powerful that no one could have predicted. It began at Roosevelt Elementary School when Mrs. Peterson had an idea. She noticed how Alex's positive attitude and creativity inspired the other students in class. During circle time one Monday morning, she asked her second graders a special question. "What makes someone a hero?" Mrs. Peterson asked, sitting cross-legged with her students on the colorful reading carpet. Hands shot up all around the circle. "Someone who saves people," called out Jake. "Someone who's really strong," added Sarah. Then Maya, Alex's best friend, raised her hand thoughtfully. "I think Alex is a hero, because Alex shows us how to be happy even when things are hard." And Alex builds the coolest Lego cities that make everyone smile. Alex's cheeks turned pink, but in a happy way. "I'm not a hero," Alex said quietly. "I just like making things and making friends." Mrs. Peterson smiled. Sometimes the biggest heroes are the people who don't think they're heroes at all. That afternoon, Mrs. Peterson called a meeting with the principal, Mrs. Rodriguez. Together, they decided to start something special: Alex's Amazing Attitude Week, a school-wide celebration of kindness, creativity, and seeing the good in every situation. The whole school got involved. The art teacher, Mr. Kim, helped students create colorful posters with messages like "Be kind like Alex" and "Build dreams like Lego blocks." The music teacher, Ms. Johnson, worked with students to write a song called "Different is Beautiful" that the school choir performed during morning announcements. But the most special part was when Alex's classmates decided to start their own Lego building club. Every Tuesday after school, a dozen kids would gather in Mrs. Peterson's classroom to build and create together. They called themselves Alex's Awesome Architects. "I never thought other kids would want to build like me," Alex told Mom and Dad over dinner one evening, eyes sparkling with joy. "Now we have our own club, and everyone is so good at making different things." The ripple effects spread beyond the school walls. Mrs. Chen, the librarian at the town library, had heard about Alex from her daughter who went to Roosevelt Elementary. She decided to start a special story time called Celebrating Our Differences, where she read books about children who were unique and special in different ways. "Every child who visits our library should feel like they belong here," Mrs. Chen explained to Alex's parents when they brought Alex to the first special story time. "Alex has shown our whole community what it means to embrace who you are." The local newspaper, the Riverside Herald, heard about all these wonderful things happening and sent a reporter named Ms. Williams to meet Alex. She wrote a beautiful story called 7-Year-Old Teaches Town About True Courage. The article wasn't about Alex being sick. It was about Alex being an amazing kid who happened to have progeria. After the newspaper story came out, something incredible happened. People from all over town started reaching out to Alex's family with offers to help and show support. Mr. Thompson, who owned Thompson's hardware store, donated supplies for the school's LEGO building club. "Any kid who can build the things Alex creates deserves all the Lego blocks in the world," he said with a big grin. The local fire station invited Alex and the Lego Club for a special tour. Fire Chief Martinez showed them all the equipment and let them sit in the big red fire truck. "You kids are building the future," he told them, "just like Alex builds those amazing LEGO cities." The most surprising support came from the high school. The teenagers had read the newspaper article and decided to organize something they called LEGO for Love, a fundraiser to buy LEGO sets for children in the hospital. They set up tables at the grocery store and explained to shoppers how one little kid named Alex had taught them that building things and spreading joy was more important than being the coolest or the strongest. In just one weekend, the high school students raised enough money to buy 50 Lego sets for the children's ward at Riverside General Hospital. "We learned from Alex that heroes come in all sizes," said Jessica, the student council president, when she presented the Lego sets to the hospital. "And sometimes the smallest heroes make the biggest difference." But perhaps the most touching show of support came from Tony's ice cream shop. Tony decided to create a special flavor called Alex's Amazing Adventure. Vanilla ice cream with rainbow sprinkles and little pieces of edible gold stars. For every scoop sold, Tony donated $1 to the Progeria Research Foundation. "This little one comes in here and lights up our whole shop," Tony explained to customers. Now we can help light up the lives of other kids facing the same challenges. The mayor of Riverside, Mrs. Foster, was so moved by how the community had rallied around Alex that she declared the first week of October as Kindness and Courage Week, in honor of Alex's impact on the town. At the official ceremony in the town square, with Alex sitting in the front row, wearing a special honorary Mayor for a Day badge, Mayor Foster spoke to the gathered crowd. "One child with an extraordinary spirit has reminded our entire community what really matters," she said. "Alex has shown us that courage isn't about not being scared. It's about choosing joy and kindness, even when life is challenging. Alex has made our town a better place, simply by being exactly who Alex is." Alex stood up and walked to the microphone, which had to be lowered quite a bit for someone so small. In a clear, confident voice, Alex said, "Thank you for being my friends and my family. You've all helped me build something better than any Lego city, a community full of love." There wasn't a dry eye in the crowd. As everyone clapped and cheered, Alex waved with both hands, beaming with the kind of joy that reminded everyone watching why they had fallen in love with this remarkable child in the first place. From that day forward, visitors to Riverside would often comment on how friendly and caring the people were. What they didn't know was that they were experiencing the Alex effect, the way one child's courage and joy had transformed an entire community's heart. 6 months after Alex's diagnosis, Mom and Dad received a special phone call that would change everything. Dr. Leslie Gordon from the Progeria Research Foundation, a group of scientists and doctors who work day and night to help kids with progeria, wanted to talk with Alex's family. "We've heard about Alex from Dr. Williams," Dr. Gordon said during their video call, her kind eyes twinkling on the computer screen. "We have some exciting new treatments we're testing, and Alex might be able to help us help other children with progeria." Alex sat between Mom and Dad, swinging legs from the big office chair, curious about this new doctor who seemed so excited to meet them. "What do you mean, help other children?" Alex asked, always wanting to understand everything. Dr. Gordon smiled. "Well, Alex, when brave kids like you work with us to test new medicines, you're like scientific detectives helping us solve a very important mystery. Every time we learn something from helping you, we can use that information to help kids all over the world." Alex's eyes lit up. "So I'd be like a real-life superhero." "Exactly like a real-life superhero," Dr. Gordon agreed. That's how Alex became part of something amazing called a clinical trial. A clinical trial is like a careful scientific experiment where doctors test new medicines to make sure they're safe and helpful before giving them to lots of people. The first treatment Alex tried was a special medicine called lonafarnib. It came in little capsules that Alex had to take twice every day with meals. The medicine tasted terrible, even when Mom mixed it with chocolate pudding, but Alex never complained. "If this yucky medicine can help other kids feel better, then I can handle it," Alex declared, making a funny face after swallowing the pills. This always made Mom and Dad so proud they could burst. Every 3 months, Alex's family would travel to Boston Children's Hospital to visit the research team. These trips became like exciting adventures. They'd stay in a special hotel for families with sick children, and Alex would bring a new Lego set to build during the long medical tests. During these visits, doctors would measure Alex's height and weight, listen to Alex's heart very carefully, take pictures of Alex's blood vessels, and draw blood samples to study under powerful microscopes. Alex learned that each blood sample was like giving scientists a treasure map to understand progeria better. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, one of the researchers, always made these tests feel like games. "Alex, today we're going to see how strong your heart is by having you walk on this special treadmill," she'd say. It's like a slow-motion race where everyone wins. The most exciting day came when Dr. Gordon called with incredible news about something called gene editing. She explained it in a way Alex could understand. Alex, remember how we talked about your body having instruction books called genes? Dr. Gordon asked during their video call. Alex nodded eagerly. Well, scientists have invented something like a super smart pencil that can go into those instruction books and fix the parts that aren't working correctly. In laboratory studies with mice who have the same condition as you, this special pencil helped them live 140% longer. Alex's mouth fell open. You mean they found a magic eraser for progeria? It's not exactly magic, but it's pretty close. Dr. Gordon laughed. And the best part is, all the work we've done with brave kids like you helped scientists figure out exactly where to use this special pencil. Mom wiped away happy tears. So Alex's participation in research helped make this breakthrough possible? Absolutely, Dr. Gordon confirmed. Alex and every other child who has worked with us are the real heroes of this discovery. Without their courage and willingness to try new treatments, we never could have learned enough to develop gene editing therapy. Alex sat up straighter, feeling very important and proud. Soon after, Alex started a new treatment called Progeria, an even newer medicine that researchers hoped would work even better than the first one. This medicine was part of a cutting-edge clinical trial, which meant Alex was among the very first children in the world to try it. I'm like a pioneer, Alex told Maya at school. Just like the explorers we learned about in history class, except I'm exploring new medicines instead of new lands. The Progeria Research Foundation also connected Alex's family with other families around the world. Through special video calls, Alex met children from different countries who also had progeria. There was Sophia from Spain who loved painting, Kenji from Japan who collected model trains, and Emma from Canada who wrote poetry. It's like having a worldwide club of very special friends, Alex told Mom after their first group video call. We're all different, but we're all fighting the same battle together. These friendships became incredibly important to Alex. When one of their new friends, a boy named Michael from Australia, got to try an even newer experimental treatment, Alex was so excited it felt like Christmas morning. Michael gets to test a medicine that might help all of us, Alex announced at dinner. I hope it works amazing for him, because then maybe I can try it too. Dr. Williams, Alex's heart doctor, was amazed by all the progress happening in progeria research. 5 years ago, we didn't have any treatments at all, he told Alex's parents. Now, because of brave families like yours, we have multiple medicines being tested, and gene editing therapy is showing incredible promise. Alex also helped researchers in another special way, by keeping a detailed diary about daily life with progeria. Every week, Alex would draw pictures and write simple sentences about how the new medicines made Alex feel, what activities were easier or harder, and what symptoms changed. Your diary is like a roadmap that helps us understand exactly how these treatments work in real life, Dr. Mitchell explained. Scientists can study blood samples and take measurements, but only you can tell us how the medicine makes you feel inside. Alex took this job very seriously, decorating each diary page with colorful drawings and always being completely honest about both good days and difficult days. One evening, as Alex was working on the weekly diary entry, Dad sat down nearby. Are you ever scared about being part of all these research studies? Dad asked gently. Alex looked up from the colorful drawing of the day's activities. Sometimes I get nervous about the blood tests because needles pinch, Alex admitted. But then I remember that everything we learn might help Sophia and Kenji and Emma and all the other kids like us. That makes the scary parts feel worth it. Dad's eyes filled with proud tears. You know what, Alex? I think you might be the bravest person I've ever met. Alex grinned. I think all kids with progeria are brave. We're like a team of real-life superheroes working with scientists to save the day. And Alex was absolutely right. Every day, with every treatment tried and every diary entry completed, Alex and children like Alex around the world were helping scientists get closer to finding better treatments, longer lives, and maybe someday, a cure for progeria. They weren't just patients. They were partners in hope. Heroes in the greatest medical adventure of all. 3 years after Alex's diagnosis, on a beautiful spring morning when cherry blossoms were falling like pink snow, something amazing happened at Boston Children's Hospital. Dr. Gordon called with news that made everyone cry happy tears. Alex's heart is stronger than it's ever been, she announced, her voice trembling with emotion. The combination of treatments is working beautifully. Alex's growth has stabilized, and all the markers we watch are showing improvement. This is beyond what we hoped for when Alex started the trials. When the family got home that evening, Dad lifted Alex up and spun around in circles in the living room, while Buddy barked excitedly and Mom danced with joy. We're not celebrating just that I'm healthier, Alex said, when things finally calmed down. We're celebrating that all the kids in my worldwide superhero club are getting healthier too. Michael from Australia just told me his heart doctor said the same thing. At school, Alex was thriving in ways that amazed everyone. Mrs. Peterson had nominated Alex for the Student of Excellence Award, not because of grades, though Alex got straight A's, but because of the spirit of kindness and creativity Alex brought to everything. When they announced Alex as the winner at the school assembly, the entire gymnasium stood up and cheered. Alex walked across the stage, accepted the award, and did something that perfectly captured who Alex was. Instead of talking about personal achievements, Alex spoke about the Lego Club, about Maya and Tommy and all the friends who had become part of the journey, and about how being different had taught Alex that everyone was special in their own way. I'm not the only hero here, Alex said into the microphone, voice clear and strong. We're all heroes when we choose to be kind to each other. Thank you to everyone who made my journey easier by being my friends. The auditorium erupted in applause, and several teachers had to wipe away tears. That same year, something extraordinary happened in Riverside. The town decided to build something very special, the Alex's Courage Garden, a beautiful public space dedicated to children living with rare diseases and their families. On the opening day, the garden was filled with flowers, walking paths, sitting areas with comfortable benches, and most importantly, a huge Lego display at the center that Alex and the Lego Club had helped create. The display showed a Lego city representing Riverside, with tiny Lego figures representing all the people who had helped on Alex's journey. Mayor Foster stood beside Alex at the ribbon-cutting ceremony. This garden is a monument to what one child's courage can inspire in an entire community, she said. But more than that, it's a safe, beautiful place where all children facing health challenges can feel welcomed and celebrated. The garden quickly became a beloved community space. Families from neighboring towns brought their children to see it. Local news stations featured it on their evening broadcasts. Universities studying community healthcare and compassion made it a required visit for their students. But perhaps the most meaningful tribute came from the Progeria Research Foundation itself. They created something called the Alex's Attitude Award, given annually to young people living with rare diseases who showed exceptional courage, creativity, and positivity while participating in medical research. The first recipient of the award, announced during a special ceremony, was Alex. But Alex did something unexpected: donated the award's prize money to help fund scholarships for siblings of children with rare diseases, so they could go to summer camps and have fun like any other kid. "I wanted to help other families like mine," Alex explained simply. "Sometimes brothers and sisters give up a lot to help take care of their siblings. I wanted them to know they matter too." By age 10, Alex had become known far beyond the town of Riverside. Medical conferences featured Alex's story as an example of how children could be true partners in medical research. Universities invited Alex to speak to future doctors about what it felt like to be both a patient and a participant in groundbreaking science. At one conference, Dr. Gordon introduced Alex to the assembled scientists and doctors. "This young person has not only lived bravely with Progeria, Alex has actively contributed to the research that is transforming our understanding and treatment of this condition. Alex embodies what it means to be a hero in science." Alex smiled humbly from the stage but couldn't help adding, "I just wanted to help my friends and maybe other kids in the future." The real heroes are all of you who work so hard to find answers. Alex's impact on medical research itself was remarkable. The diary entries and detailed observations Alex had kept over the years became part of an important medical study published in a major research journal. The paper, co-authored with Alex's permission, helped doctors around the world understand how to better monitor and treat children with progeria. Sophia, Kenji, Emma, and Michael, the worldwide friend group, all contributed their own stories and data too. Together, these 5 remarkable children had helped generate research that accelerated progeria treatment by several years. Back home in Riverside, the ripple effects of Alex's journey continued to grow. The high school's Lego for Love fundraiser became an annual tradition, now raising money not just for hospital children, but for rare disease research foundations worldwide. More than 500 Lego sets had been distributed to hospitals, and the program had expanded to 5 neighboring towns. Mrs. Chen at the library created a permanent Celebrating Our Differences section, expanding from just progeria to include books about all kinds of rare conditions, disabilities, and differences. School groups now visited regularly to learn about diversity and inclusion. Tony's ice cream shop had become something of a pilgrimage site for people learning about Alex's story. The Alex's Amazing Adventure flavor was now available year-round, and on the shop's walls hung photos from Alex's journey, from diagnosis to research participation to awards and celebrations. One evening, as Alex sat at the familiar picnic table in the backyard with Dad, looking up at the stars, Alex asked a thoughtful question. "Dad, do you think my life would be different if I didn't have progeria?" Dad was quiet for a long moment, thinking carefully. "Yes, it probably would be very different. But you know what? I think you would still be amazing. The progeria didn't make you who you are. It just gave the world a chance to see how incredible you already were." Alex nodded, considering this. "I think I'm glad I had progeria then. Not because it's fun to have it, it's not, but because it helped so many people. Mom says that's called purpose." "Your mother is very wise," Dad agreed, putting an arm around Alex's small shoulders. As Alex looked up at the stars, thoughts drifted to all the children around the world still facing progeria, still going through medical appointments, still fighting a daily battle. But Alex also thought about the scientific breakthroughs happening because of research, about the new treatments being tested, about gene editing therapy getting closer to reality every day. I hope the next kids who get diagnosed with progeria have even better treatments than I do, Alex said. That's what I want my legacy to be. That because I was brave and because my whole community helped, other kids can have easier, longer, healthier lives. By age 12, Alex had lived longer and healthier with progeria than many children before the recent treatment breakthroughs. Doctors attributed this not just to the medicines and research, but to something equally important: the love of family, the support of community, and the remarkable determination of a child who chose joy over despair. Alex continued building with LEGO, making new friends, telling jokes that made people laugh, and achieving in school. But now Alex also had something else: a sense of purpose and a global community of children and researchers all working together toward the same goal: defeating progeria and showing the world that rare doesn't mean less valuable. One day, when asked in an interview what Alex's greatest achievement was, the answer was beautifully simple. My greatest achievement is that I inspired people to care about each other and to never give up hope, no matter how hard things get. And that, truly, was the greatest triumph of all. Because Alex had learned something that took most adults a lifetime to understand: that the strongest superpower isn't a strong body or incredible strength. It's a strong heart, a creative mind, and the courage to keep hoping even when the road is hard. Alex's journey with progeria had become a journey of hope for thousands of people. Families facing similar diagnoses, researchers developing new treatments, communities learning about compassion, and children around the world learning that being different doesn't make you less. It makes you extraordinary. And in the hearts of everyone who knew Alex's story, in the flowers blooming in the Courage Garden, in the Lego sets bringing joy to hospital children, in the scientific papers advancing medical knowledge, and in the life of one remarkable child who chose to smile through the challenge, Alex's legacy lived on, bright and beautiful, like stars that refuse to stop shining. Alex's journey reminds us that every life matters, and together, we can make a real difference. Here's what I'm asking you to do. First, learn about rare diseases. There are 7,000 of them, and millions of children are fighting silently. Visit the Progeria Research Foundation. The link is in the description, and discover how you can help. Second, choose kindness. Include someone different. Show someone they matter. Third, share this video. Post it, send it, talk about it. Every share spreads awareness and gives hope to families like Alex's. Finally, subscribe to Outliers World. Every week, we tell stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Stories that remind us why compassion matters. Thank you for watching Alex's incredible journey. You're now part of a movement of people who believe that different is beautiful, that rare doesn't mean less, and that hope never dies. Keep shining, Outliers.